Hey YouTube, it's Bella, and I'm making a review for not one but two episodes of Sons of Anarchy. I'm so sorry I didn't do it last week, guys. I had a lot going on, but hopefully you could forgive me and watch my video. Sorry. Okay, so let's get started. Tara's caught by Unser. Unser tells her to come clean about it, or, why are you doing this? And she tells him to get out of the house. He leaves, and he gets Gemma out of jail. The African American cop gets her out of jail. He goes to him and they get her out of jail. Jax and the Spanish group of Nero Padilla's crew, one of them gets run over and they don't know why they're getting run over. One of them's getting run over, and it was a mess. And I didn't know it looked that bad when someone gets run over, but it did. So, Tara goes to Bobby Elvis for advice, and Bobby Elvis tells her not to leave Jax. I think he's very good for his advice, very wise, and to him, this makes sense. Jax can get right, and, he's telling Tara that Jax can get right, and let him time to get into himself and become king, and figure out what it's like to become king. The African American woman said that the one who's the DA, I think she's the DA, she goes to Nero Padilla and she tells him that she can give his son a good life if he confesses to what's going on, and it switches to, if he confesses to Torek, Torek's killing the escort called Erin, and Nero didn't do that, so, it doesn't say anything yet, but then it switches to, they find a guy who ran over one of the Spanish men, and his child died in the school shooting, and then he kills himself. Right in front of the Sons of Anarchy. That was a very intense scene, and it was just emotional, and it just was. And then Gemma gets out of jail, and she's enraged. She goes to Wendy, and she's like, you need to pick a side, and you need to do this fast. And Wendy doesn't say anything. You see Wendy's back into taking drugs. And Jax goes up to Gemma and goes, "You bitch, Grandma is dead to my children." And they find out at the end, Nero Padilla confesses to giving the guns. He didn't want to say that Jax did it. He gives himself up. And, they said, oh, really? Well, we just found out that Torek killed Erin, not you. You're free to go, Padilla. That's how the episode ends. And Jax and Tara talk about how distant they feel from each other. Well, Jax did talking, and he's still, at this point, unaware that she's trying to divorce him. So let's get to the next episode, shall we? We shall. Okay, Padilla gets out of jail, and Jax says all his flaws to Tara, but he doesn't admit to cheating on her with Colette. And, I felt, I think he should have. I think it would have been, you need to give someone all of you when you're in a relationship, and I think that he should have, personally. You see this young girl, and she breaks the window of this ice cream parlor where they're at, and attacks Jax's bicycle, and he runs after her, and he catches her, and she goes, "Rape, rape," and he lets her go, and he's like, alright. I mean, just by looking at it, you would think that this biker dude is, grabbing this young girl and raping her, but you don't know why she did that, and they found out that it's tied into something that Jack's father did that caused the death of this young girl's mother. Clay says, so this is scene, and I thought it was freaking ridiculous. There was the scene where this guy's, preaching, but, and Clay is he's not getting the point. The guy's trying to preach, and some people are, feeling it, but Clay, and they're preaching in jail, and Clay is the only thing that was ever good for me in my life, about to, say a little dirty word, sorry, but it's part of the review. He said, the only thing I ever, said had good in my life is pussy. And he's like, pussy, pussy, and then the guy's like, the security guard's like, that's enough. He's like, pussy, pussy, and then he bites the man's nose off. That was just to get him out, so the Irishes could break him out. So that's why he's went on his pussy rant. Ridiculous. Of all times, right? When they're trying to preach to prisoners. Scumbag Clay, you done it again. I hope they kill you in the end. So, Padilla finds Jax, Nero Padilla finds Jax, and says, question more. And he's like, you think my wife is a liar? And he's like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, find out. Find out for yourself. And then it ends up that he says, he finds out that he says that to Jax that, I gave myself up for you. He's like, I gave myself up for the club. And they're kind of just, on edge with each other like they are. And usually because the mom is involved, the mom being involved. I think they'd work great together if it wasn't for the mom, but then they never would have found each other. So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. But, so he's like, I understand that's your woman, but you need to, Jax tells this to Nero, but you need to, if we're going to do business together, you need to keep her out of this, and, what's best for business and stuff like that. And the DA lady is trying to, like, cut down their business on Diosa and all these different things until Jax meets up with her. And so they're, like, struggling with Jax. Like, listen, I'm going to make this right. I'm going to make this right. So then, sorry, 1 second. Jax goes to the girl's house, finds out where she lives, and her father's, like, revealed to have been losing his house, and the girl's got mental problems, like her mom, but that's what she blames the Sons of Anarchy for the mother's death, and, a lot of has came up about the mother lately, about, like, going through stuff, and so Padilla wants to talk to Tara. He goes to church, he goes to, sorry, I thought I heard a noise. He goes to the hospital, and he talks to Tara, and Tara is like, you don't get to talk about my family, and she's like, I hope you don't turn out like the other 2 husbands that she has. One is dead and one is in jail. She killed John Teller, and he goes, it's the life. She goes, it's not the life, it's the wife. Not the life, but the wife. So, yeah, that was intense. But then she tells Jax some crazy shit. She tells Jax that Padilla called her a manipulative bitch, and they're fighting. And Padilla could fight. Good Padilla laid Jax flat on his ass. And Gemma, sorry, my hair's on my face. I just washed it. Gemma is breaks it up, and then it's revealed that she was forced to have sex with Clay and all sorts of stuff, and, she's like, this never happened, I'm telling you the last time, and he meets up with the African-American woman, and he goes, past, present, and future, I want immunity, I'll give you, the Irish, the IRA, Galen O'Shea, for immunity of past and present gun things that happen, and release my wife from the charges. And she's like, if you don't, your wife goes to jail, and I make your life hell. And he's like, deal. So he's bargaining with a lot. And then he said this beautiful line, I wrote it down on my phone. He said, another great line he wrote, he says, is, I'm the scumbag outlaw, you're the pillar of justice, and neither one of us could look at ourselves in the mirror. That's, he always says the most profound things, like in the last video. It's a very profound show. She gives him 10 days, and what happens is he questions the attorney. He kind of traps the attorney, and she admits to the truth. And Clay is like in some Hannibal Lecter crap, like some like muzzle, they put a muzzle in his face, and the 2 cops beat him. Yeah. And that's what happens. That's how it ends. And so I can't wait to see the next episode when he confronts Tara about this. So, keep watching. May God bless.